Yo, what's up, people? What's going on? We're back again, the Clark Dynasty up here, and or the Clark Empire. That's what we called it last time, right? Yeah. Yo, so we're back again, talk about some stuff. We're gonna get right into it, man. It's your boy Wes Clark, the director. Your boy Wonder Kid Prime, right there, and we're gonna go ahead and get right in to the nonsense that's going on. Let's talk about Secret Invasion. All right, we've already had the finale. The series is over. The biggest question that's lingering out there right now is we already know it's got the lowest Rotten Tomato score for an MCU film or MCU project ever. And
Fans ain't shit.
yeah, exactly. And but now what the lingering question is, what happened with Rhodey, yo? What's
No,
going
the
on?
lingering question is how much longer does he have on this earth? Considering he's been sitting in radiation for the last 10 years.
Exactly.
This guy's about to
So
check out.
exactly. So obviously we know that, Secret Invasion had their final episode where it was the showdown with Gravik and Gaia, who had like these extra 100 million powers, every power from every Avenger freaking character and other characters, not even Avengers,
Everybody.
villains too. So, but in that episode, they show Rhodey. Once they go and they rescue them out of those pods or whatever they are, they got them in. Rhodey has obviously been already identified as a Skrull, and at this point in the show, they've already killed him, and now they're bringing or killed her, the Skrull. Now they find Rhodey and the rest of the people. They bring him out, and he's wearing the same gown, apparently, the same gown that he had on in Civil War when they were putting him through the MRI thing, right? Where he was getting tested so he can get his legs and all that. It was like right after he fell. So that was Rhodey who actually fell as War Machine. But apparently, when he went into that thing, he didn't come out. They did
How do
something.
you sneak a grown Don Cheadle out of a place though?
I'm wondering, yeah. I mean, it's easy to replace him, but how did you get him out of there? Is the question.
With Vision there. Vision was
Yeah.
watching. Vision is the worst AI ever created. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah,
Respectfully.
for first of all, he falls in love, forgets all his
All his
directives.
responsibilities in life,
Yeah.
shoots his
Right.
homeboy out the sky,
Shoots his
and
own way.
doesn't
I
even
mean,
watch the homeboy. Homeboy gets kidnapped on his watch.
and
Come on,
actually
bro.
wasn't very helpful in Infinity War at all.
Yeah,
But
Thanos did us all a favor. All right,
yeah, that's
taking
a
him
whole other
down.
story. But yeah, but that's a good point. The plot holes that and just Pandora's box, or let's just say rabbit holes that they opened up with this one thing. The fact that you just mentioned one of them. How did they get so let's start with that first plot hole. How did, like you just said, how did they get Rhodey out of that facility, which was a government facility, because he's a government worker, right? He works for, he's a
Yeah,
military guy.
probably a regular hospital, but it's gonna be high security.
Yeah, it would probably it might have been, it could
There's
have been a
standing right
government
there.
facility, hospital, or even it was, but he's got security there. You said Vision's there.
Yeah,
He's got the worst name, Vision, because he sure
he has
didn't see
no
shit.
vision.
He
He
has
got no vision. He don't know who he's shooting at. He
he
don't
can't see.
know. He
Yeah,
don't know if Thanos is coming. He doesn't know
yeah.
if
How do you know
someone
that? How'd you let that dude get behind and hit you with the
yeah, he got
staff or whatever he
stabbed.
had, stabbed from behind, right in the middle of him talk about, oh, yeah, like, yo, dude, what's wrong with you? You talk about we should have stayed in bed. Nigga, you should have stayed in
Yeah,
that damn
yeah. You
chrono
stay in
chamber or
that
whatever.
bed. Yeah, facts. Yeah, damn, the coffin you came out of. Please, no.
So that's enough. So that's one plot hole. Let's talk about another one. The fact that, like we said, all this time, you said that at the top of the show, they've had Rhodey at this place, this facility that is like filled with radioactive,
They had
just
Gaia playing Nick Fury, damn near dying within minutes of being inside. Like
and
literally,
Gravix was buying it. So obviously that's what was supposed to
what it
happen.
does, yeah.
That's what it
So
would do to you. So you're at this facility that the same people are being kept. And how come really all of them didn't, get affected? They should all now. Granted, they can correct that in the future, but the fact that he was there so long,
that's the part, like, because I mean, look, in if you want to put your, you know, writers' hats on and make it
mhm,
easier for the MCU do their damn job, you could say,
right?
that the scrolls, because they needed to go back to the bodies and get more information, kept them in a place that was,
Maybe.
but
Yeah,
like, it's that's a reach. And then
this is kind of,
10
yeah,
years, Civil War takes place in 2015 in the MCU. It is
yeah,
now 2025 in the MCU. I confirmed it the other day. It is 2025 in the MCU. So that's 10 years of Rhodey sitting in radiation. I don't see how he's not dead 10
yeah,
times over already.
yeah,
I mean, what about the fact that like, he doesn't know Tony's dead?
yeah.
He doesn't even know Thanos came. He doesn't know any of that
More,
stuff.
more, more. That's more plot holes. So now Rhodey's not even gonna know. That means the person who impersonated Rhodey, the scroll who impersonated Rhodey, is the one who picked up all of the memories from Civil War on. So
Yep.
he doesn't know about Ultron.
Nope.
He doesn't know. No, would the Civil War come after Ultron? Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Vision was in it.
because Vision was in
So
it.
he does know about Ultron because it was like so. But everything that came after Civil War, Black Panther, events of that, all that stuff. I mean, everything that came after that, he knows nothing about.
Oh,
You
Sam.
know.
Sam went from Falcon to Captain America. Bucky went
Yeah.
from war criminal and like fugitive to an
Mm-hmm.
Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Natasha's dead. Tony's dead. Vision's
Yep.
dead.
Vision's
Um,
dead.
Scarlet Witch, we
Uh,
don't know where the hell she went. She turned
yeah.
into. She went
And,
bad.
and this means he didn't even meet the Guardians of the Galaxy. He don't even
I
know
don't
who
even know who the hell they are.
he don't even know who
Just
they are. He never
no
met
idea
them.
who they are. I mean,
Wow.
like it means that it means he doesn't know who Captain Marvel is.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this breakdown of the timeline. So it says MCU timeline for Captain America Civil War was 2016, they say.
Oh, 2016. Okay.
Yeah, 2016, right? So
All right,
2016,
fine. 9 years. He survived. It makes
9 years he survived. Oh my god. That's all I can say. And
he's a
okay, so
superhero
Falcon
by
and the
now.
Winter
He didn't
Soldier,
have
they
no
said
powers before, but he must have powers by now. There's no way he might be the Hulk at this point because there's no
yeah,
possible way
gamma rays.
that
Yeah,
like,
so
what?
it's gamma rays. Yeah. So they have here yeah. Do they have up to this? I think they only go this article goes up to Thor Love and Thunder. That was it. But yeah, like you said it was supposed to be 2025 or something like that,
From
right?
what I understand, yeah, Secret Invasion is 2025 because
Okay.
Hawkeye was supposedly Christmas of 2024.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
So
this would be like 2025. I mean, to me, the biggest issues, I mean, obviously aside from the fact that he should be dead, are you have all these moments that I would say are, well, like, what, it's every memorable or good moment for Don Cheadle in the MCU is now, not Don
yeah,
Cheadle, but James Rhodes is now
James Rhodes,
gone.
yeah. Yeah,
Because
it's really kind of like a
aside
moot
from him
point.
getting shot out the damn sky, I mean, what else
Yeah.
did he? What did he do before then? He arrested Cap. He tried to arrest Cap. He freaking took Tony's suits. Like, he didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Afterwards is when all the things happen. He threatens to. He suggests they kill Thanos as a baby. He
Hmm.
freaking backhands Peter Quill on Nowhere during the time. Like, all the things that you're like, oh, he sticks up for all the time movies that everybody grew up watching.
Yeah.
during like Endgame. So it's like he does things that make him a little more likable, but now it doesn't even really count because now it's like, well, we're gonna get this other Rhodey back that apparently doesn't do anything. I,
Yeah. I can't understand what they think they were doing with this.
like, how is he
This
gonna
was
work his
this
new suit?
yeah, this was
He's never been in that suit.
unnecessary. This was completely unnecessary to me. I think the director might have made that as a last minute decision when they were writing it or whatever, and was like, "Yo, let's do this. It might be fun." Like that type of deal. Like, and now because the director is now kind of pissed off that people didn't don't the people like us are calling it out, and
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, you can't please everybody." But no, but bro,
you gotta
you're
please somebody.
right. You gotta please
You can't
somebody,
piss
and
everybody off.
and
Like,
apparently you haven't, because Rotten Tomatoes says this is the
last time I checked, it
lowest.
was 16%. So that's
Oh my
I don't think
goodness.
I've ever seen anything that low in a
Yeah,
long time.
this,
So
this yeah, and honestly, my full take on the whole series, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was a little dry. I was trying to,
kind of.
I supported, of course. I wanted to watch it. I wanted to see Nick Fury do his thing, but I just really thought like this whole series to me feels uh pointless almost.
Yeah,
Like, and if
it
you're a
is
comic
so
head,
many things
and
before it
we
didn't really do
all
anything.
the comic heads, I don't have to tell you how big Secret Invasion was in the comics.
Yeah,
So if you're that type of person, you're expecting that from Secret Invasion. It really fell short. They bought in Super Scrolls only to have one person be a Super Scroll, and well, two of them, and then ultimately now one. Whereas Super Scrolls in the comics, we know they would take, like, you can't have Secret Invasion without Avengers, because the Avengers was all over Secret Invasion in the comics. Now I get it. This is a TV series, and they obviously don't have the budget to bring in these guys, but at least one or two of them, even one. Well, only one they have is Rhodey, but he wasn't even really in it. He's
even
the only
so,
Avenger, but he didn't. He wasn't avenging, you know. So
he needs to be
he
avenged.
was an antagonist actually in this show. So
Yeah,
um, like I said, I think overall it's definitely not one of my favorites of the series. It's down on the bottom of the list.
I
What do
thought
you
it
think?
had some. I thought it had some. I thought it had a lot of promise. And I was one of the people that didn't actually even feel. I know we spoke about this multiple times in the past. I didn't really feel they needed like big names for it to
Yeah,
be good. You just
no,
need to do because I think like most people, you want somebody to be a scroll and for them to have been a scroll before in times that you didn't know they were a scroll. Like that's what
yeah,
makes it cool. So it's like you couldn't really say like, okay, let's make Hulk a scroll. We'll have it be Banner and he's a scroll because it's like almost everything we've seen him in, he's turned into Hulk aside from
yeah,
Infinity War. So I mean, unless you
yeah,
was going to say he was a scroll
yeah,
in Infinity War and then he switched back, but you know what I mean. So it's like
yeah.
there was only so many people you could really use because you couldn't use the people with powers like that because we had seen them use their powers before.
Right. So
So,
they didn't have Super Scrolls.
but here's my thing. Here's how I feel personally. The two problems with it I had. If you're gonna go with the non-powered Avengers, which I'm cool with,
Hmm.
it should have been somebody that you would have been able to play off.
Yeah,
All right, so like my thing is this: I feel it had to be Clint if you were gonna go with any of the Avengers that don't have powers.
yeah,
The only one who, yes, I am sure we've seen him hit people with arrows multiple times, but also, who's to say that wasn't? We don't see him shoot every arrow, so we don't know if he misses when he's off
hmm,
screen. That they could play that off. You know, what I mean, you could flash back
yeah,
and show him missing, shots and trying to play it off, kind of thing. The fact of the matter is this:
yeah.
he's not a superhero. He's just
Right.
a spy. So
Yeah,
he does miss. It's just not really going to happen often. So,
yeah,
like, if Clint doesn't have anything else that stands him out from like aside from the fact that he shoots the arrows, nothing else stands him out as Hawkeye. He looks regular. He doesn't wear a suit. Like he wears shield gear. You know what I mean? Like he lives back at home with his family. He's not out there always like you know what I mean? Like
Hell, his family could be
Said Ronan,
Skrulls.
exactly. If they said
Yeah.
Clint went as Ronan,
Hmm.
right, and during his time at Ronan, maybe he ends up getting snatched up,
Yeah,
switcheroo, or maybe
that's on purpose.
during Hawkeye, maybe during Hawkeye he gets
Yeah.
snatched up. That would have made sense to me, but Rhodey makes it difficult because there's too many things indicating that Rhodey's not a Skrull. Like, to put it, I was this close to saying, okay, you know what? I'll ignore the fact that he should be dead, and I'm gonna just go with it because they he was a dick. He did do recommending to kill Thanos and all those things. That is, I guess, stuff that you could say that the Rava scroll could have been thinking. What messes it up for me is during Endgame, two blatant things that prove that it shouldn't be a scroll. One, when Avengers Tower gets attacked by Thanos' people and it like collapses and all that, you literally see Rhodey because he couldn't breathe. He pops out of his suit and he's crawling because he literally cannot walk. If you're a
Yeah.
scroll and everything just went to hell,
Yeah. You're walking.
I'm walking, bro.
I'm
Sorry, guys.
walking.
I ain't Rhodey.
I'm breaking character.
Good
I'm
Lord.
breaking character at that point.
Lord, he blessed me. It's a miracle I can walk because there's no possible way that he's gonna crawl in that situation. And then on top of that, when that happens, he's bleeding. So
Yeah.
and it's red blood. So
Yeah.
these are things
That's
that
true.
now. So are you gonna go back and change it?
These
to
are
purple blood
plot holes. Yeah, these are plot holes that they was unnecessarily he
They
backed
didn't
himself
have.
into a corner.
I don't even feel that they really messed up with Rhodey being revealed the way they did. It's just this. They did not have to confirm to us
That it
that
was
it
back
was
then.
Civil War.
Yeah.
They could have put him in that gown and let you wonder and have you thinking and theorizing until Armor Wars, and then in Armor Wars have him speak about going to get a colonoscopy after freaking
Right.
Endgame and get
Exactly.
snatched up. Like
And he
you
got
don't have
snatched
to,
up.
or talk about going to get the surgery that he was supposed to get to make his legs work
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
and getting snatched up beforehand, so he never got the surgery kind of thing. Like instead,
That's what it should have been. Instead of the guy, it was the director, right, who confirmed
yeah,
that
that
it
he was been
was fake
taken
back
from Civil
then.
War.
Yeah, that was stupid to me because now you got a lot of plot holes that you have to fill just for you to do. They're gonna have to spend the first 2 acts of Armor Wars explaining this damn near at
Rebuilding
least
the
the
world,
first act.
rebuilding the world for Rhodey.
Yeah, rebuilding his world. Because what is his world now? The last thing he remember,
He has
Rhodey
nothing.
and flying dead stick.
He
That was
has
the last thing that he remembers.
because
Well, the
think of
last thing he remember was that and being put into that MRI thing.
because think of this, they're not just gonna plug him right back into his role. Like, all right, cool. Now that you're back, here, come stand high in our government. They're like, you just got snatched up and replaced by an alien, bro. Like, we're gonna need you to
Hmm.
take a
Yeah,
sabbatical.
you have to take some time. And on top of
Like,
that, he wouldn't even know. He wouldn't even be ready for that. Be like, "Yo, wait a minute. I'm no advisor or whatever he was to the president. They
yeah.
had him way high up there.
Even
Like,
last time I checked, I was a D tier Avenger, so
yeah,
I didn't know I was doing all this
a
extra stuff.
detailed video. All I did was work for Ross. Like,
Fact.
you know what I'm saying?
I also another issue is like, so what was the point of them showing him with the leg braces in everything except Falcon and Winter Soldier? Because I
Uh,
thought that they would do that. That was the indication right there. Like, oh, he has his leg braces and everything except the last thing
yeah,
we see him in, which is Falcon and Winter Soldier. And
that's
like
what
in
I
the
was
Falcon
thinking
and Winter
about.
Soldier, like at first I was thinking like, oh, like this dude, is like talking about being a black man. Like, so I hope they wouldn't take that away. But then like when I rewatched the scene, it actually isn't that like racially. They did more racial things in Secret Invasion than they did in Falcon and Winter Soldier for
Yeah,
Rhodey. His scene is very he seems like a Skrull in the scene with Sam when you look back on it. You know, Sam
yeah,
is
I
like,
guess so.
Sam, we don't, alliances are very weird right now. No one knows who to trust, and the world's a weird place right now. And all that. So like he was kind of talking in riddles and all that. Like I understand that, but I don't know how to get. Yeah, and I can even maybe get past him crying for Tony Stark and all that stuff because we've spoke about this before. Like maybe it's possible that Skrulls take on the memories of the people, like because we seen that Skrull in the show who had the human son. He was
Hmm.
just playing the son's dad, but he cared enough about the son.
Yeah,
He was like, all
yeah,
right, I'm gonna give it up, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's possible maybe they take on the memories, but it's just too much that you're now
Possible.
gonna. And then if Civil War during the fight, right?
Yep.
Spider Man's fighting with them as well on their team. Now we didn't see him actually learn of Peter's identity, so I guess technically they could explain away of him not knowing, but I'm sure he would have known.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if he did know, then he'd be the only person probably that does know anymore who the hell Spider Man is, because did his mind get wiped or did the Skrulls' mind get wiped during this?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Once again, too many damn holes, plot holes for no reason. I mean, you're creating, first of all, you as whoever is the writer, showrunner, stuff like that, you're creating hell for the next filmmakers to come along and try to
Yep.
keep this continuity. This is supposed to be an interconnecting world, universe between television and films and this and the other. You're creating a very, you may, like, why can't you be like the Russos? Like the Russos left it where you could do anything after Endgame. You can go in any direction. Like, be like the Russo brothers. You know what I mean? Don't.
Be like the Russos.
Yeah, come
Be like
on, man.
James Gunn. James Gunn left the
Yeah,
Guardians
left Guardians
franchise
where
in
it's,
a
yeah,
situation where they can pick up and do
you
whatever
could
they
pick
want.
up and do what they want to do with it. That's how you end
I will say
an era.
one thing: the event, the Russos did kill Gamora when she clearly was a part of Guardians' plans.
Yeah,
That was a little fucked up,
that
though.
was a little crazy. That was a little crazy. But the funny thing is, why not at that point? That's what I thought they were gonna do with Scrolls. I thought they were gonna use that as excuses to, bring back people that allegedly died, in the past, where it's like, oh, it was a scroll, or something like that. But they didn't do that. I mean, that's cool, but I'm just saying, yeah, that was a little crazy that they killed Gamora. Why didn't they kill Clint? Why it not be Clint instead of even Natalie? But they killed Natalie. That's one of their originals.
Natasha.
So you know,
Yeah,
so
eh, yeah, but they killed her in Endgame.
they
Infinity
killed
War.
Endgame, Infinity
Infinity
War.
War. It was just Gamora. Gamora is the only one that got packed up in Infinity War. Like in terms of like, oh, I guess they packed Vision as well, but
Yeah, he's
does
not
he
an
count as an
original, but they
original? Yeah,
got rid
let's
of
say,
him.
does he count? Like they created Vision, so like
Yeah,
he's a
create
creator.
another Vision. All right. Make another Vision. You still got Tony. You still got
Yeah,
Banner.
make another Vision, and then
They
keep this one
don't
out
have Jarvis no more
over.
though. Jarvis is gone.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jarvis. Oh, I guess that's an original Avenger right there, Jarvis. Yeah, my man Jarvis put in his years, bro. He
But in
deserves
his years, he was driving. He was driving old man stock. Remember when
facts.
they when he went back?
You
He
know,
was like,
old
"Yo,
man Stark was
Jarvis."
probably disrespectful as hell back in the day. So working for him probably sucked.
Probably sucks. So he'd much rather work for Tony. Um, but I think overall, I did. The show was just okay. But Marvel really writing this up now. I have to kind of wrap it up by saying, Bob Iger has come out and admitted that he they kind of jumped the gun with Disney Plus, and he's admitting that they kind of are overkilling with all of the shows and series and movies and flooding it, and he sounds like he's going to take a step back, like he's going to have Marvel take a step back. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, because my point of bringing that up is, if he's gonna wrap it back a little bit, now where do we go? Are you just gonna leave this plot hole? Like, it ends with Fury going back to what's it called, Sword? No, not Sword.
Saber.
Saber, and we know that that picks up from there. The next time we see him is in the Marvels, which is coming out soon. So what was the point though? What was the point of Secret Invasion now?
All
Like,
right,
because you have no You have one super scroll. What is she going to? Is she going to eventually try to like share her powers with other scrolls, and that's how we end up getting that whole thing? Or we don't know where that's going. Where that's going? It wasn't a clear path of where it might go, and it really felt pointless. And I ain't gonna lie, it took a little bit of wind out of your sails to find out that Rhodey was a scroll all the way back at Civil War. It feels pointless. It feels
It
pointless.
it just feels like a commercial for the Marvels.
Yeah.
Like,
Commercial for the
okay,
Marvel.
let's establish the whole like especially how they ended it. Like the Kree open to peace talks. You didn't have to make a whole 6 episode commercial for the Marvels. Like I get
They're
it.
open to peace talks. Did you see the trailer for the
Yeah,
Marvels?
sir. I last time I checked, that Darwin, whoever the hell her name is, she's coming for blood and she's smoking everything. So
They trying to go hard. Now I think that woman who that main I think she's one of the accusers, right? Like how
yeah,
Ronan was.
she's gonna take over. I think she takes over for Ronan.
Mm.
Because there's there's like mad accusers and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's a lot of cute, which is to
I-
me one of the funniest names in the
the
in
accuser.
you're an accuser. Like I
But
accuse
it's
you.
like what does that really do? You just accused me of something. So it's
Yeah,
like,
just accuse yourself, but you can't prove. Who's the prover?
yeah, who's the prover? That's what I want
Who's
to know. Who's the
Ronan?
nigga that
When are
got
you
the
gonna
back?
graduate to Ronan the Prover, where you could just prove that
Not
you're
that
just
good.
the accuser?
He's not that good. He's like a low level lawyer.
Yeah, yeah,
He
exactly.
doesn't actually prove.
He's a paralegal. He's not even a lawyer. He's like a
He's a
paralegal,
public defender.
public
He's
defender. That's the worst.
a public defender
Oh my
in
god.
Canarsie.
Public defender is like compared to a district attorney, like district attorneys are the ultimate public defenders, but
Yeah,
they're, yeah, but yeah, we'll see how this goes, man.
yeah. I don't like the commercial for the Marvels thing. I don't like that. I don't like I did like that there was like no like post credit scenes and all that. I think we've kind of gotten a little oversaturated with those. So not everything needs a post credit scene.
Yeah.
And this already felt like it was only really geared to hype up something else. So
Hmm.
it didn't need a post credit scene. I do want to highlight a few things about it that I really did like.
Okay.
I love Amelia Clark. I think she does everything great.
Yeah, she
Um,
is. She's really good.
uh, I his name escapes me right now, but the actor for Gravik, he was great.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though they watered him down a lot during
They
towards the
did.
last 2
My
episodes.
wife watches his. She used to watch him on Bridgerton or whatever that show
Yeah,
he was on. Yeah,
yeah,
she
he's
liked
good
him
at
on
that
that.
too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I've heard
that
about
was what he was kind of known for by the time
yeah.
he came to
Going
the
into
MCU.
it, I had heard about him, and I was like, all right, he seems cool, but like, no, he really killed it. And Olivia Colman as Sonia Fallsworth, whew,
Hmm.
murdered every scene she was in.
She did it. Yeah,
Thought she was wonderful. There were other highlights. Fury's wife.
yeah. She was bad.
You
She
know,
was. She was good. She had some nice. They had some nice scenes together.
yeah,
I did like. I
yeah,
didn't have to. I didn't need any more or less from them. I thought
yeah.
that
I
was
think we got the
pretty
right
cool.
amount of Fury and
Uh,
Priscilla.
and Priscilla, and they did fulfill their little arc from the story where they just decide, okay, she's like, I'm gonna go, but like we said before, another weird line. My work is here. Where's your work? What are you
Doing
working
what?
on? What's your work? I want to know what your work is. You worked for graphics, obviously. So what is your work? Are you the one who's snatching scrolls?
They
And
did
then
have. She did have like a certificate in the house for like I don't know some type of astrophysics or something like that. So
yeah,
I guess she's a scientist, but like
yeah, it's something
you
like that.
really can't be a scientist in space. I kind of
Right.
you
And
can.
exactly. And they did hint to the fact that because we know that there are, well, a little less than a million now because some have died, but that's messed up. there, there are
We just
at
confirmed
least,
like 5 or 6 are gone.
yeah, there's at least, almost a million scrolls on the planet. So, and we saw that little place that they had all of those
100 different bodies. So it's
people
like
under
clearly
different
there are way
bodies.
more still moving. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still around and acting as people that we know, but to me that just wasn't enough for them to for me to be like, oh, I can't wait, I'm so excited. So overall, I give the show uh maybe a 3 out of a possible a 3 out. No, wait, if I say a 10, I'd give it out of 10. I'd give it like
Yeah, 10.
no
That's
out of
harsh.
3 out of 10. No, no, I'd give it like maybe but I wouldn't give it more than a 5 out of 10.
I would say
It's
5
mid.
I would say it's
It's
like
mid.
yeah, yeah. I'd say you know what? No, no, nope. Changing it. I'm gonna go with what you said first. I'm gonna
Three.
give it a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, because now I think about it,
Three out of 10 is actually
I don't think any of the
pretty appropriate.
other
But it's not
shows.
mid. It's
It's
not
not even
mid
mid.
because
It's under that.
mid would imply that all these Disney Plus shows that come up that it's better than, let's just say at the very least 4 of them, right?
Hmm.
I don't think you can name 4 shows this is better than on Disney Plus.
No.
Only show I can, and if I'm being honest, I do think it's the worst. If
Yeah.
I had to pick a show that I said, okay, this show, all right, it's close. Yeah,
Maybe Moon Knight.
but Moon Knight was just so like visually cool and
Yeah.
everything like that. That makes
Moonlight had some nice act.
me maybe like maybe like a Hawkeye, because Hawkeye, but then Hawkeye had Kingpin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The show. So
Showed the
I don't know,
Kingpin.
like in terms of like because some of the shows that came out were kind of boring or dry. Some of the shows that came out, pushed, they were like really fun. Some of the shows that came out didn't really change anything with the world, and some of them kind of pushed the world forward. This is the
Yeah.
only show that didn't do any of those things, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like
The only thing that might justify the scrolls is I wish they would have showed as a hint Carter, Sharon Carter under one of those blankets. Been like, okay, so Sharon Carter, so the power broker is a
is a
scroll. You know what I'm saying?
it would make sense.
Because that was just dumb. And it's very possible they can do that. They didn't write themselves into a corner, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But right now, I definitely rank that one as the worst of the Disney Plus Marvel shows.
Right now, give me a top 5 people that could be
Um,
scrolls right now.
oh, that could be Scrolls. Sharon Carter, definitely,
Yeah, I think she might be number
because she was so out of character. So Sharon Carter is one of my suspected Scrolls. Um, who else could we say?
I feel like Val's got to be high up on that list.
Val, yeah, Val is definitely high up there as a
Now,
scroll.
Eric Voss thinks Happy Hogan, and I gotta agree with Eric Voss.
Why Happy though? I saw him say that. I'm like, why is
You know what?
Happy a scroll?
It's not a necessary like a reason of like he's done anything to make you think he's a scroll. He's
Mhm.
just done nothing of consequence that would change. Like
Yeah.
that is a person that if you wanted to use him
Mhm.
being connected to Stark, and maybe you start seeing Stark weapons were going. Maybe if he was a scroll and you find out that him being a scroll is how the Stark stuff got in the hands of other scrolls. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That makes sense. Yeah. The
I
fact
get
that
that.
they were getting stuff in the hands of,
Yeah,
who else I thought could have been a scroll, but I don't see why the point would have been uh Hank, or the original Ant-Man.
yeah, I've heard people say that, because of the
Yeah.
comics,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just don't think he changes enough because they've kind of made Hank like kind of pointless in the in
He's very pointless.
MCU. Like, I mean, he just really is just around to make Ant-Man happen in general, and then
Yeah.
that.
What about Cassie being a scroll?
I mean, she does look different.
She looks different.
Yeah, she did change her face, like,
And once again, she was kind of a jerk. It seems like these scrolls, they have their moments
she
where they're
was
just
kind of a,
jerks.
yeah.
She was kind of a jerk in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I was like,
Like she was very
oh,
like,
very
mm,
snappy
yeah.
and very attitude. It's like, why you got an attitude with your father who literally was stuck in the quantum realm? Like,
It's not like he left you for 5 years to go
yeah,
try to join a band. Like he left you for 5 years because he like had to.
he got stuck in the quantum realm. What are you gonna get? And I mean, yeah, or everything happened the way it did during the game and all that, but he was in the quantum realm. So I mean, those people could definitely be scrolls. I could see her possibly being a scroll. Like you said, she looks different. That's for sure. She sure looks different from what she did in Endgame. Obviously, different actress, but I think that's. I think I would have fun with that. Just like how they talk about Rhodey. Well, you should have known he was a scroll because in Iron Man 2, he came back a dark skinned dude instead of a light skinned dude.
He came in and he's like, "Oh, I'm here. Deal with it. It's me." Well, like that's how they recasted him. He was just like,
That's
"Yeah,
how
I'll
I
deal
guess.
with it."
I'm here. Deal with it. No, no, not deal with it. Where the hell is Iron Man? All right.
Exactly. Where is Iron Man?
Where is Iron Man? So